Hey, pedal people, it's Pedal Guy here. How you doing? It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for questions and answers. And we're going to get started right now. Well, hey, it's Scott the Pedal Guy here. How you doing? Hope you're having a great week. Now, if this is your first visit to our channel, make sure you take a second and click on that subscribe button down there and ring that bell so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow us so you can stay up to date with all of our activities, because we do post daily and we'd love to hear from you. Well, this is our weekly questions and answer sessions where I take your questions, your comments, your feedback, and try to answer them to the best of my ability. Let's get right to it. Our first question comes to us from David Andrade, and it's in regard to the NUX MP2 Mighty Plug Headphone Amp, the video that I did last week, which those things, guys, those things are on fire right now. For 69 bucks, I am burning through them on a daily basis. So if you want to grab one, now would be a good time to get it. Okay, so David writes, quick question, would something like bias effects on the phone or tablet work with this? David, thank you for the question. I would venture to say probably not, because it needs to dial in directly into the headphone amp, and that's what the Mighty Amp app does. So bias effects probably wouldn't work in this instance, but thank you very much for the question. All right, our next question comes to us from Rafal, and it's in regard to the Mighty 8BT amp video that I did some time ago. And Rafal writes, I got this. I'm having a problem getting an AC/DC close sound. Can you help with the settings? Rafal, thank you very much for your question. Well, okay, it's kind of a toughie, because really when it comes down to getting that AC/DC sound, you need three factors, okay? Your guitar needs to have a humbucker on it. So as long as you have a guitar with a humbucker, that's one step. The next step is using the right type of amp. So obviously using a jazz chorus amp would not be the right call. Using a Vox would not be the right call. If you want to get the Angus Young sound, you got to use the Marshall emulation that's in there. The JCM would be the best option. And the third factor, of course, is just dialing in the sound based on the EQ curve rather than the effects, because Angus, to my knowledge, doesn't use pedals. I think at the most he's ever used is maybe a delay here and there. So I would say depend on the amp overdrive itself, the natural sound of the overdrive itself, and then look into something like maybe putting a little reverb on top of that. And that will pretty much get you there. But if you look around online, I'm sure you can find the type of EQ settings that he uses traditionally. I know Guitar World has probably done his rig like a million times as far as like telling people how it works and all that. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. Our next question comes to us from Tomo, and it's in regard to using pedals with synths. That's a video I did some time ago. I did a first one like 3 years ago, and 25,000 views later. We've done a few more since then, but that was the one that really knocked it out of the park. Tomo writes, how would you rate the NUX Cerberus with synths, especially the reverb part of it? Cheers. Tomo, thank you very much for the question. Honestly, it would sound fine with the Cerberus. In fact, we probably should go back and do that at some point. It's just been really a matter of time. But I have the Behringer stuff has just come in. I have some really cool synths like the Crave and the Odyssey and all that. And at some point, I'm going to have to dig into those and use them along with a Cerberus. So when we get to that point, I'll make sure to let you know. But yes, it sounds fine with synths. That's kind of what it was built to do, is be a jack of all trades. But I hope that helps you out. Our next question comes to us from Wesleyan, and it's in regard to the NUX Stageman Floor Acoustic Preamp Pedal. And he wrote, you deal with sound, but the quality of your audio is horrible. So hard to understand what you're saying. Too much low frequency sound. Just saying. Well, thank you for your feedback. He and I actually had a dialogue after that because I felt compelled to talk to him a little bit about what's been going on with the Pedal Guy's sound quality since then. And as far as the sound of the pedal, I'll agree to disagree on the sound quality. I think it sounds pretty much like what the pedal sounds like. Granted, the piezo pickup that I used on my Martin is a little prickly at times, and maybe I didn't roll it off quite as much as I should have, but for every one person that's had some sort of negative feedback about the sound, we've sold 10 or 15 pedals to other people that love the sound. So really, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I get your point, though. We have altered our sound actually here. I don't know if you've been noticing, but I'm using this groovy CAD microphone now for most of my voiceovers here when I do my videos. And I really dig the sound of it. Hopefully you like it too. I've made some new tweaks in OBS, and I've been pretty happy with the results so far. But be sure to come back and watch the rest of our videos, because I promise you, the sound only gets better over time. Our next question comes to us from Matthew, and it's in regard to the HeadRush Looperboard. Matthew writes, love to see more workflow for the Looperboard. Possible external foot switch to keep the touchscreen in finger's reach? Matthew, thank you for your question. Now, I will tell you that there is a public beta that you can sign up for now, and I will tell you that there are some remarkable differences to the Looperboard with this new firmware that's coming up. The official date of release moves out a little bit, mainly because COVID has obviously kind of thrown a monkey wrench in the scheduling for those kind of things. But I would say that maybe within 30 to 60 days, we will see the new official firmware out. But you can apply to become a beta tester if you want to for the firmware. And I can tell you that, yes, there are some significant updates, and you should be able to do that. Well, technically, you should be able to do that now with MIDI controllers, because it does read MIDI controller messages. So if you had like a MIDI keyboard up here, you should be able to actually do pretty much what you're looking to do. Just simply need to MIDI map it out. That warrants a whole other video, but certainly that's something I think you could do now, and it will only get better with the next version of the firmware. But thank you for your question. Our next question comes to us from Mugen. Hopefully I got your name right. And it's in regard to the FRFR 108. What kind of cable do you run from the pedal to the speaker? I'm only familiar with 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch inputs, and I don't know much about XLR or other types of inputs. Well, thank you for your question. A 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch is perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about working with a XLR if you don't want to. That's fine. Just make sure that the cable you get is a nice shielded cable. Don't get a cheap cable to do this, because it's going to give you a better performance. It blocks out unwanted frequencies, and cheap cables tend to break real easy. And believe me, when you're in the middle of a gig, that is literally the last thing you want to have happen with that. I've heard it. It sucks. Granted, it was 20 years ago where I heard it, and I decided at that point, you get what you pay for, so buy a good cable if you want to make sure you get good results. And that's really all I can recommend, but hopefully that will help you out. All right, it is the final one, and you know what that means. It is time for our facepalm of the week. And it comes to us from Mikhail, and it's in regard to the NUX Rocktree unboxing video that I did some time ago. Those unboxing videos just seem to be the gifts that keep on giving, whether you want them or not. And Mikhail writes quite simply, well, that was pointless. To which I say, but also, Mikhail, we had a little dialogue about this. I know that. And I recommended that you watch the demo video, because the demo video is where you get the meat and potato of the Rocktree. An unboxing video is simply a marketing tactic that shows you what's inside the box. Because if we don't show you what's inside the box, you're flying blind. And it just seems to be one of those trendy things that a lot of people want to see. So we give them what they want. We let them eat cake, so to speak. But in any case, thank you for your feedback, and I appreciate it. If you have noticed on our channel, I haven't done any unboxing videos in a really, really long time, because I just want to get to the meat and potatoes. So hopefully you've watched some of those. Hopefully you've watched the Rocktree video. It's a great sounding pedal. I have a lot of fun with it. I use it all the time. And hopefully after you watch the demo video, you will watch it. You will want to use it too. All right, there we go. So thank you very much for your feedback. Well, that wraps it up here for episode 14 of Questions and Answers. If you have any questions, any follow-up questions, any new thoughts, any new suggestions, use the comment section below and let us know. If you have any questions on the other videos, just let me know there. Maybe you'll be in next week's episode. Ask us on Facebook, ask us on Instagram, ask us on YouTube, and very soon ask us on TikTok, because I'm finding a way to make a dork of myself on TikTok. We're days away from that. So Hey, anyway, for more information on the pedals that I've discussed and covered and answered questions and all that other good stuff, just visit us at thepedalguy.com. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day.